Does anybody know this guy? He's a dead giveaway. So he's dropping his S2000 off. It's got a little click in the pedal, on the clutch pedal. I'm not going to give away what else is happening.
Yeah,
that's for him.
You might see a video coming out soon.
Yeah, go to his channel. He's going to tell you a little bit more about it.
Something big, maybe slightly disappointing will be happening with the S2000 here. But I came all the way here. Like I literally was racking my brain. I'm like 2.5 hours away. But like I was going to take it somewhere else. I literally called and begged John and said I would pay you whatever it costs to get my car here. So
we're going to make sure
if you're in Seattle, ship your car to Florida.
So we're going to make sure that we have 2 or 3 other jobs going on, but I told George we're going to work a late night, maybe a couple of late nights, but we've got to get the car back. It's on a bit of a not a time crunch, but it has to be done in a timely manner. And
I want it dialed in for where it may or may not be going. So
yeah, we've got to get it right.
I hate this game when you play this stupid YouTube game of I got some secret reveal coming up.
That's the tease. Everybody has it. You got to tease it. So stay tuned for the tease. All right, Matt. Thanks for bringing it. Let me show the car real quick. This poor car just had to come through a rainstorm. It's going to be raining all this week. So Matt was the same way. He goes, I'm not going to wash it. I'm going to be driving it through terrible weather. I love those wheels. You know, the CR wheels, I liked them so much. There's not many wheels I would say I like over those, but this definitely complements the car.
I wanted bronze, but these are like a 6 to 8 month wait yet.
But you see the color is off the black enough that it still complements it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys know whose car this is. We did the supercharge on this about a year ago, but this is Matt from Obsessed Garage. He contacted us and said the clutch had a bit of a click and sometimes it would lock him out. Well, that is sometimes difficult to diagnose without seeing the car, and we have been absolutely crazy busy, so I said drop it off and we'll work it in during the week. We'll work some late nights, whatever we need to do. He's a very special customer, and we're going to do what we can to make it right for him. So late at night, here we go. Well, one of the things he complained about is this click. Well, George came into it the other day and it just did it there. It's almost like it gets solid. If you let it sit, you can't push the clutch down at all. It feels like you're just pushing on like a brick, like it did it. Now it's done it again. So then it goes by the click. And then once you move it, it's free. But that click is at the top. So we're kind of speculating here. And of course we've got a whole bunch of internet mechanics helping us out, adding comments, because they heard from somebody else. It could be this and it could be that. Well, I'm not sure if you know this, but we do work on a lot of S2000s. So there is one thing that we know about black cars. We are not detail guys here, but we know how to deal with really nice cars and know not to rest on them, drop anything on them. We don't pile tools up along that cowl. That is a big no-no. It's something that I absolutely hate. I see it so much and I cringe. I try not to say anything. There is something on the hood right there. I don't know what that is. Almost looks like it's had a cover on it. But you know what? I know well enough not to touch this car. I'm not going to wash it. I'm not going to try and wax it. I'm not going to do anything. Black is not my color to mess with. You see it's up there too. So if you hear the phone ringing multiple times, it's probably our wife's wondering why we're here so late. You know what? We're going to blame it on Matt. We'll call Matt and say, can you call our wives and give us an alibi because we're working on your car? Alright, so a little bit of investigating. We have come to the conclusion that that is where a cat has been laying. You can see certain light. There is footprints leading to and from it. There is also some footprints on the windshield and going up the roof. Let me see if I can show you. On the roof. See those footprints? A little bit of investigating work from LHT. So I'll let you guys make your mind up on that one. I don't know if that is driving Matt insane or he's trying to figure out what he can do to relocate that cat. So one of the things we check here is the hydraulic fluid. This is what operates the clutch, and you can see how dark that is. I know when we put it together we flushed the fluid and it was clear. So when it's this black, it tells me there's something wrong in the hydraulic system. This is the clutch master cylinder, by the way. Alright, so removing the slave cylinder, we notice this fork here isn't in the right position. It's usually in the middle of that rectangle hole. So one of the first things we're going to do also is look at the fluid. Matt has complained a few times it's been difficult getting into third, which past experience is usually the fluid is pretty rough, and if you scratch your gears, oh yeah, look at that, that's the problem right there. If you scratch your gears, you tend to almost put like grinding material in your fluid, which makes your fluid worse. If you think of putting fluid into something and putting a bunch of real fine like granules of sand, it will turn it from being a lubricant to almost like a cut and paste, and you see how bad that is. So by draining that and putting in anything better, it will improve the transmission, but we're going to put royal purple in there. So I think to get all that out, I think we're going to put some fluid in, start the motor, run the transmission once we're done, fixed it, and drain it out to get anything else that might be in there, because that is pretty bad. But there's the third gear problem right there. Alright, transmission is dropped. Let's get the light, take a look at the clutch, see if we have any issues. Here, now put it back. Alright, there's a lot of don't see anything out of whack. The fingers are all smooth, they're all even. I guess let's pull the clutch off, see if there's any evidence. Alright, so the clutch, it's got a lot of heat in it. It's not damaged or broken, but yeah, a lot of heat. Hot spot there. It's really, can't really tell if it's warped. I don't feel warped. It's just, I just think it's overheated. Oh yeah, look at the flywheel. Yeah, I think it just almost half the way around the flywheel. I don't think it was broken in, which, I mean, that's sometimes part of it when you get it and you start driving it heavy. Alright, everything feels smooth, the bearings are good. The bearings feel good inside the clutch, George?
Yeah.
And it was a Nietzsche bearing, right? Yep. Alright, looking everything over, basically we're only using 50% of our clutch. You can see this here is burnt pretty bad. It doesn't feel like there's any steps. I just put a level across it and it's not warped, but you can see it's burnt here. It hasn't really even touched here. Measuring the disc too, the disc is a real hard material, which they typically don't wear very much, and looking at his disc, it looks probably 50% worn, and I think he's only got about 3,000 miles on this car. We've had a handful of Clutchmaster's clutches go 50 or 60,000 miles, but it's just one of those things. I don't think it was broken correctly, but that's part of the game. I gotta say, I'm guilty of doing this myself. I once smoked a clutch in 2 weeks just because I kind of got tired of driving slow and decided to get on it, and it seemed fine. Little did I know I was only using 50% of my clutch, just like this one. So we just talked to Matt. He's give us the okay just to put a complete brand new system in it, which is what I would do, peace of mind. We could send this out and have it turned and have this turned, but when it's this blue, I found that it could possibly soften the flywheel or soften the surface and make it prematurely wear. I might be wrong, but I'm OCD, and I know Matt is definitely OCD. He doesn't want a potential issue. So, brand new everything. Let's go. Alright, so luckily we keep these in stock. Flywheel. So I'll show you what the flywheels look like. I'll show you what we do to them. So they come, as you see, it's got a pretty slick finish. Well, one of the things we do is we have this surface prepped, so it puts like a crosshatch in it, turns in the machine goes like this, and it puts like arches on there. It helps that break in. And 300 with the Nietzsche bearing. And again, we probably could replace that. Actually, we could probably reuse the bearing. That's the Nietzsche. But I mean, Matt isn't exactly trying to do things quick and cheap. That's the way I am with my stuff. If I can afford to do it right, I do it as best as it can possibly be done. So that's what I would do in this situation, is rather than trying to reuse a little piece here and a little piece there. I mean, it's not like it's, you know, like a 10-minute job taking off the clutch. If it was something that you could pop off real easy, and if one part failed, replace it, well, yeah, you can do that. But the time it takes to take the transmission apart, I mean, we do a ton of them, so it's not, it doesn't take us as long as it maybe other shops would, but it's still a lot of time and labor to do it. So this is actually the newer style disc. They've changed the disc in the last, when did they change the discs, George?
I think it's been almost a year.
Probably about a year they've changed it. Now it has 6 smaller springs instead of the 4 large springs. I don't know if that just makes it stronger. I know this cage, I think, is beefed up. This is like their 400 design, so it's a little bit beefier. I don't know, but yeah, see, the material's not very thick because it is like a carbon Kevlar. It's really hard. So we'll go ahead and send this across the street, go get it cut, and we'll be back. Alright, flywheel is back. You see the cut that's on it now. It's not really rough. I mean, you feel it with your fingernail, but it's just gives it something for the disc to bite on. It breaks them in much faster. So we'll go ahead and wipe this off with acetone and put it on the car. Alright, so the flywheel is on. You'll notice the ring isn't present. Some of the discs we found would be really close to those bolts because the center is quite a bit beefier on the Clutchmaster stuff, and it would just be occasionally, if we ever took a car down that had some miles on it, would see just a real light scratching on here just where it contacted, and by removing that ring it gives us about another 2 millimeters of clearance. So if you notice that ring is not present, that is the reason. It's not that we forgot it. A few extra things we have to remove to get the transmission down. This exhaust with that can is right in line with the transmission, and these bars just give us a bit more room, so they're off. So we just did a quick flush. We filled up Royal Purple, ran it, turned the motor over, and now we're flushing out just to get any kind of debris that might be in the bottom, try and get it flushed out. And I'll recommend him do another oil change, maybe in 5,000 miles, do another change with Royal Purple, just to get anything out that might be in it. We'll go ahead and drive it and verify everything's good. I don't think there will be a problem. I think it'll drive 100 times better now. It's smooth now. We just flushed that through. We ran probably about 20 ounces of fluid through there and got all that dirt out, and the hydraulic system feels very smooth. Everything is good. It had a slight gritty feel until we got that all the way out. Now is clean all the way through. We'll do one more test drive, then we'll go ahead and call Matt, say come and get it. Perfect. Smooth as silk. And the transmission feels very smooth too, so we'll go ahead and call Matt. Tell me it's done.